In the geography of the spirit, there are coordinates that do not appear on any map drawn by human hands. These are the sacred fault lines where history cracks open, where the blood of the past boils up to water the soil of the present. For over 2 centuries, the epicenter of this spiritual earthquake was a small, mountainous island in the Caribbean, Haiti. It was there, on a humid night in August 1791, that the impossible happened. A people considered to be property, tools with no souls, rose up to break the chains of the mightiest empire on earth. They defeated Napoleon. They shattered the myth of white supremacy. They declared to the universe that a black man was not a beast of burden, but an emperor of his own destiny. And for this unforgivable sin, the sin of being free, Haiti was punished. It was quarantined, indebted, invaded, and then turned into a living cautionary tale. The West wanted to prove that freedom without permission leads only to ruin. But energy is never destroyed. It merely changes form. The fire that Jean-Jacques Dessalines lit in 1804 did not die when his body was torn apart at Pont Rouge. It did not vanish when the banks of France drained the gold from the Haitian vaults. It simply went underground. It waited in the rhythmic pounding of the voodoo drums. It waited in the silent prayers of the market women. It waited for a new vessel, a new body strong enough, pure enough, and ruthless enough to hold the high voltage of total liberation. For 200 years, the spirit of 1804 wandered, looking for a home. It looked at leaders who promised hope but delivered betrayal. It looked at presidents who wore the mask of the revolutionary but signed the contracts of the colonizer. The spirit waited, and then, in the red dust of September 2022, on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, in the heart of the Sahel, it found him. This is not a story about politics. This is a story about the migration of a soul. Today, the elders of Port-au-Prince and the priests of the Caribbean are whispering a revelation that chills the spine of the neo-colonial establishment. They say the loi of war, Ogu Ferai, has crossed the water. He has left the broken streets of Haiti and landed in Ouagadougou. When they look at the screens of their phones, watching a young captain in a red beret speak with a voice of thunder, they do not see a stranger. They see a ghost. They see the reincarnation of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. To understand why this connection is bringing grown men to tears in the diaspora, we must look at the eerie, terrifying parallels between the emperor of 1804 and the captain of 2024. Dessalines was not a diplomat. He was not a man of compromise. He understood that you cannot negotiate with a parasite. You must remove it. His doctrine was scorched earth. Coupe tête, boule caille. Cut the heads, burn the houses. It was a brutal necessity, a message to the world that slavery would never again touch the soil of his island. He ripped the white stripe from the French tricolor to create the Haitian flag, a symbolic act of tearing the European influence out of the nation's identity. Now look at Ibrahim Traoré. He possesses the same terrifying clarity. He does not ask for better terms of exploitation. He rips up the mining contracts. Yet he does not negotiate with the French ambassador. He gives him 48 hours to leave. His slogan, Fatherland or Death, is the modern echo of Dessalines' Liberty or Death. It is the same frequency. It is the same ultimatum delivered to the universe. When Traoré stands on an armored tank, pointing an accusing finger at the imperialist powers, the Haitian viewer feels a shock of recognition that bypasses logic and hits the soul. They realize that the unfinished business of the Haitian Revolution has been picked up by a son of the Sahel. There is a metaphysical concept known as the transference of life force. Spiritualists have observed a haunting correlation. As Haiti descends into its darkest hour, plagued by gangs, statelessness, and foreign intervention, the Sahel is rising with unprecedented light. This is not a coincidence. Well, it is a balancing of the cosmic scales. It is as if Haiti, the exhausted mother of freedom, is breathing her last reserve of strength into Burkina Faso, the newborn child of the revolution. Haiti is suffering the crucifixion so that the Sahel can have the resurrection. The pain of Port-au-Prince is the fuel for the power of Ouagadougou. This connection explains the intense, almost religious fervor with which the people of the Caribbean support the alliance of Sahel states. Go to the comments section of any speech by Traore, and you will see a sea of Haitian flags. You will read comments like, "Captain, finish what we started," or "The spirit of Papa Dessalines lives in you." This is not internet chatter. This is a spiritual mandate. The Haitian people, betrayed by their own elites and crushed by Washington and Paris, and have outsourced their hope. They have projected their national soul onto Traore. He is their proxy warrior. Every victory he wins against France in Africa is felt as a victory for Haiti in the Caribbean. He is fighting the war they were not allowed to win. The similarities extend beyond the spiritual into the economic, the blood debt. In 1825, French warships surrounded Haiti and demanded a ransom for their freedom, 150 million gold francs. It was a theft of biblical proportions, a debt that crippled the nation for centuries, forcing Haitians to pay their former masters for the privilege of not being slaves. Today, France maintains the CFA Franc currency in West Africa, a modern, invisible version of that same indemnity. It is a system designed to siphon the wealth of the African soil back to the European treasury. On Traoré's war against the CFA Franc is the direct continuation of Haiti's war against the independence debt. He is fighting to break the financial shackle that was placed on the black ankle in 1825. He is declaring that the debt is paid. But the spirit of 1804 is a heavy mantle to wear. It demands absolute purity. History teaches us a bloody lesson. Dessalines was killed not by the French armies, but by his own generals. He was assassinated at Pont Rouge by the mulatto elites, the men who looked like him but thought like the colonizer. These were men who wanted to do business with the former masters, who found Dessalines' radical freedom too dangerous for their bank accounts. This is the warning encoded in the reincarnation theory. The same forces that killed the emperor of Haiti are circling the president of Burkina Faso, and the mulatto elites of the 19th century have reincarnated as the corrupt leaders of ECOWAS today. The script is the same, only the actors have changed. They call him a radical. They call him a danger to stability. They plot in secret rooms, whispering the same betrayals that were whispered in 1806. However, there is a key difference this time. In 1804, Haiti was alone. It was a single island of freedom in a world of slave empires. It had no allies. It had no backup. Today, Burkina Faso is not alone. The spirit of Dessalines has learned from history. It has returned not as a solitary man, but as a trinity. Traoré stands flank to flank with Assimi Goïta of Mali and Abdourahmane Tiani of Niger. The alliance of Sahel states is the shield that Haiti never had. The spirit has returned with better weapons, stronger alliances, and a population that is awake. When Traoré speaks, listen closely to his cadence. He does not speak with the polished, diplomatic French of the Sorbonne. He speaks with the rhythm of the village, the rhythm of the drum. It is a vibration that breaks spells. In the voodoo tradition, there is the concept of the zombie, a person whose soul has been stolen by a sorcerer, forced to work for a master without complaint, unaware of their own power. For decades, African nations were zombies, states without souls, laboring for Europe, sleepwalking through their own oppression. Traore acts as the Hungan, the high priest, who breaks the zombie spell. In the legends, when a zombie tastes salt, the fog lifts from his eyes. He remembers who he is. He remembers his name, his strength, and his home. And in that moment of remembrance, when he turns on the sorcerer, Traore is feeding the people the salt of truth. He is telling them, "You are poor, but you sit on gold. You are hungry, but you feed the world." The awakening we are witnessing in the Sahel is the mass dezombification of the African mind, and it is being watched by the ancestors of Haiti with pride. They see that their sacrifice was not in vain. They see that the seed they planted in the ashes of the sugar plantations has finally bloomed in the cotton fields of Burkina Faso. This spiritual bond creates a protective dome over Traoré. He is guarded not just by his own ancestors, but by the legions of Haitian spirits who demand justice. The Loa are fierce. They are vengeful. They have waited 200 years for a champion who will not sell them out. They have rallied around the Red Beret, but this is why the West finds him so difficult to eliminate. They are fighting a man who is backed by 2 centuries of righteous rage. They are fighting the unquiet dead. The story of Ibrahim Traoré is writing the final chapter of a book that began on January 1st, 1804. The geography has shifted, but the mission remains eternal. Total liberation, or death. The spirit of 1804 has found a new home. The Black Jacobin has returned, and this time, he does not intend to lose. As we watch the events unfold in West Africa, we must understand that we are not watching a distant geopolitical struggle. We are watching a family reunion. The spirits of the Middle Passage, the souls thrown overboard, the rebels who fought in the mountains of Jamaica and the swamps of Florida are all gathering around this moment. The red dust of the Sahel is the stage, while the red beret is the crown, and the man wearing it is the answer to a prayer whispered in the dark for 7 generations. The circle is closing. The debt is canceled. The emperor has returned.